Welcome back to part 2 of the Amber Shows. Actually, it's a whole new day. I didn't get a chance to get back to you yesterday. I was low on batteries on my phone, and I just think it's so hot, and it's too hot for me to go outside today. But I did want to get to everything as quickly as possible. I told you about Cosby going blind yesterday. I told you about Melania. It must have been very hard growing up as a black woman in Chicago, Melania Trump, regarding the RNC convention. I also talked about how our FLOTUS, she must have went to the future and stole Melania's speech in 2008. I'm being funny. And I told you about Donald Trump. They didn't even apologize regarding the quote. They actually wanted to say that it came from parts of the little children's book Little Pony. I want to talk about my good comedian friend and actress, Lunel. I'm sure you all heard of her. She's been on so many shows on television. She's also a comedian going around the circuit. She's very, very funny, one of the hardest working women in show business. She went to my home in New York. I wasn't able to be there to catch her. I sent a really good friend of mine to go see her. Said her show was fabulous. She was really nice to my friend, took pictures with her. And if you go to her website, where you can order some of her beautiful shirts that she has at lunel.com, and check her out, okay? You can follow her on Twitter as Lunel, and then you can find out all about her shows, and you'll be able to realize who she is. If you're not familiar with her, you'll know her as soon as you see her face. Love you, Lunel, and I'm not doing a backyard show today. It's too hot in Florida. Okay, I was in Detroit actually as well. That's my birthplace just recently. I had so much fun. I have all my family is there. My family took me all around, everywhere, to those childhood memories, to the house I grew up going on the west side, on Hazelwood, to my old school, St. Agnes, which is now, all this part is dilapidated. The city in that area is re-gentrified now, where the houses that have been torn down, white folks are moving in, just like how they're doing everywhere. They're coming back to the inner cities because those were the best built homes. That's where everything is more available to you. You don't have to spend as much gas to get downtown. No one's really running out to the suburbs anymore. So it was great to be home. I lost a wonderful, beautiful childhood friend of mine, and may he rest in peace. That's Errol Floyd. And thank you to all my sisters and all my family in Detroit. Pro skier Matilda, excuse me, Rappaport. She died in an avalanche while skiing in the Andes Mountains in Chile. She was filming an ad for Ubisoft's new game, and Red Bull is one of her sponsors. Really sad to hear about that. She was only 30 years old. I have a rant about Netflix. One of my credit cards was stolen that they had on file, and they actually, unless you can remember your whole entire credit card number, will not change your credit card. So I had to end up canceling Netflix. Terrible customer service. So easy to identify who I am. How is it that you can't take a new card to prove who I am because you don't know my old credit card number? Neither do I. Do you know anybody that knows their credit card numbers by heart, the whole number? But they'll let me cancel the card. So you don't know me enough to add a new card, but you know me enough to let me cancel the whole service. Forget you, Netflix. There's too many other services out here I can stream from. Don't need you. Louis Vuitton, they are changing their shopping bags. You know, their iconic color is the brown color. They're changing from chocolate brown to Velveeta yellow with cobalt blue handles. That's for the boxes for Louis Vuitton and the bags. Not your handbags. I'm talking about shopping bags. Okay, and when you can leave your child at home alone, something I was thinking about the other day. I remember my mother would leave me home by myself, her and my father sometimes late at night when they were going out, and they would leave their light on in their bedroom, right? And I'd wake up though, and I'd look under and I'd see the light on, I'd think that they were home, but I'd open the door, sneak it open, and they weren't there. It was a very frightening experience. But anyway, when you leave your child at home alone, 9 to 12 years old is usually an acceptable ages to leave them at home. But you have to ask many questions because still they may not be able to handle different situations. Anything could arise, so consider the maturity of your child, your sibling, consider their ages, also your neighborhood safety and how close they are to friends or relatives who could step in if the need be. So I have 6 questions that you should ask your child, and that's: do you know what to do if severe weather happens while you're away, what to do in a fire, when to call 911, discuss what warrants a 911 call, and when to go to a designated neighbor's. Make up some scenarios with your child and see if it shows that they know what they're doing in a time of an emergency if you're not there. And do you know not to play with guns? You need to talk to them about that. I didn't. When I was 12, my sister and I from Texas, Nancy, came to visit. I have a lot of half-siblings. She came to Detroit to visit me. We had snuck boys in the house because my parents owned a restaurant in Detroit, so they weren't home. And we always had guns in our home. And I wanted to showed the gun to one of the boys. He said he emptied the bullets out. Turned out he didn't. He was waving it around. I just happened to slam a door from where he was because I did not want him playing with the gun, even though we thought it was empty. And it was a bullet still in the chamber, and it did go off. Destroyed parts of my mother's bar she had in her den, and all of her long-stem glasses, and some of her albums, and it was a big cleanup. We had to hide everything. So you have to be really careful with that. Could have easily been any of us being killed. Let's find out about that. Also keep your guns locked up. Also make sure that your children know to stay away from toxic substances, not to drink any type of fluids in the house, alcohol, drinking alcohol, rubbing alcohol, things like that. And ask that they know who to call if something goes wrong and they can't. They can't reach their parent. Also, make sure your children are safe. That's the most important thing. And you know not to leave your children or your animals in cars or elderly. At this time, it is too hot. The temperature rises immediately, and they will die. All the cops have been acquitted with Freddie Gray, which is really crazy. I guess he just broke his own neck. Black lives matter, but it doesn't seem like it matters to everyone. The banks are planning cardless ATMs cards, which I think is excellent. Like I said, I had someone stole mine. So you will have an app, right, which will allow you to set up withdrawals from your phone and then authenticate it at the ATM with your app. So you'll be able to just do your withdrawal on the phone, and then as soon as you get to the ATM, you'll hit something on the app, and you can get your money very fast. And much faster than what it is when you have to put in your codes while you're standing there. Plus it'll be it's safer, and you can't leave your card, you can't steal your card, you can't not forget your card. So cardless ATMs will carry, those are several benefits, which also it decreases your time. Again, your security is improved. And so far 2,000 branches have them. The new millennium kids today will have this available, and they'll never know that there used to be ATM credit cards. They'll be cracking up like the same thing with house phones and answering machines. They'll be like, you used to have those? Twitter also now, I'm on Twitter. Follow me, Movie Star AL. Twitter now lets anyone verify their accounts. It used to be just entertainers or politicians or people, in the public eye could verify that they are who they are. But now anybody can verify their account. You just fill out a form with your phone number, your email, your address, and your profile, and additional information regarding why you want to be verified. And prior to today, you had to be, like I said, a public figure. So now you can do that. There's a new service. It's called Civic, and it tracks your Social Security card number, identity fraud is very, very prevalent right now. So this is an identity protection network, and it launches today as well. If it's used, you'll get a push notification. So if someone uses your Social Security card in any kind of way, you'll be notified. Civic is free. If you sign up, you get $1 million of identity theft insurance. I'm going to talk again later. I promise I am coming back about justice and accountability regarding Phil and Anton Elton, who was murdered by the police officers recently. I also want to talk about examples of spending your energy on incredibly foolish things and getting your energy back. When you feel like you don't have any energy, a lot of times it's because you have a lot of things on your mind and doing things that you should not be doing, and you need to get that off so you can get your energy back and become empowered. We'll talk again later. Thanks for coming to the Amber Shows.